Now I'm joined by our market expert, Seth Holm, talking about some really important economic data. Seth, what do you have for us today?
Thanks, Kyle. So last week we kind of talked about some encouraging economic data for the freight markets. We talked about how new truck orders are running well below replacement demand. Today I want to talk about two economic data points that are a little more cautious for the freight market. So turning to the chart, my first economic data point is this is the University of Michigan does a survey every single month of household consumers, and this one is about their appetite for buying large ticket household durables. And looking at the chart here, this is a 10-year chart. The blue line is the reading, the yellow line is the 3-month moving average. But as you can see here, this is hitting a 10-year low, a cycle low, and more than a 10-year low, going all the way back to 2008. So the reading here is if consumers are increasingly cautious and pull back on spending on those $1,000 plus items like washing machines and stuff like that, that could be a clear negative for the freight markets moving forward. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is Duke University does a CFO survey. They do this quarterly. They survey over 400 CFOs of both public and private companies. Now, this is a closely watched one because it's often said to be the leading indicator for leading indicators. And what they mean by that is it tends to be accurate, and when it is accurate, it tends to lead a lot of the other leading indicators by a quarter in advance. So, as far as the main takeaways for this quarter's survey, 53% of US CFOs think that we'll be in a recession in the US within a year. And 67%, or about 2/3, think we're going to be in a recession by the end of 2020. Now, this one's a little more concerning to me than the durables chart because there's an element of a self-fulfilling prophecy with the CFO survey. These guys are in charge of both hiring and capital spending. So if they pull back on spending on those items, obviously they can help create the very thing that they're forecasting. So kind of to wrap it up here, we are encouraged about the freight markets heading into Q4 and then into 2020. However, it's clear that the U.S. economy here is slowing a bit, so we're trying to keep an open mind and keep a watchful eye on everything that's going on.
Fantastic perspective from Seth Holm. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, we'll be back tomorrow.